Have you ever felt like someone was hiding something from you, but you couldn't quite put your finger on what it was? Maybe they said all the right things but you still didn't trust them. It's a feeling we've all had, and if you've ever wondered how Batman manages to figure out who's lying or hiding their true intentions, you're about to find out. Batman doesn't rely on flashy gadgets or mind-reading abilities. What makes him so good at spotting deception is his ability to observe, and the best part is, you can use these same techniques in your own life. The first tactic Batman uses is watching body language. Body language is a powerful tool for figuring out what someone really feels, even if their words say something else. For example, if someone says they're fine but their arms are crossed or they're avoiding eye contact, it's a sign that they might not be as okay as they're letting on. People's bodies tell the truth, even when their words don't. It's like when someone tells you they're excited but their face looks nervous. They might not be as confident as they want you to believe. Have you ever had a moment where you could just tell someone was uncomfortable without them saying a word? Maybe they were fidgeting or kept glancing around the room. That's body language speaking loud and clear. Batman knows how to read those signals, and so can you. By paying attention to how someone holds themselves, you can get a better idea of what they're really feeling inside. Next, Batman uses listening to what's left unsaid. This might sound strange, but sometimes what people don't say is just as important as what they do say. When someone is trying to hide something, they'll often leave certain details out or avoid giving a direct answer. For example, let's say you ask a friend if they broke something, and instead of just saying yes or no, they go off on a long story about something unrelated. They're avoiding the question. They're not telling you everything. Batman listens carefully to what's missing from someone's words because sometimes, it's the gaps in their story that reveal the most. It's like when someone says, "I didn't do it, but here's what happened." Notice how they try to shift the focus away from their own actions? That's a red flag. Batman knows that the less someone says about themselves, the more likely they are hiding something important. Another powerful tactic Batman uses is paying attention to how people react under pressure. The way someone behaves when they're nervous or in a stressful situation can reveal a lot about their true intentions. Think about a time when you were put on the spot. Maybe you were asked a question you didn't expect, or you felt suddenly uncomfortable. How did you react? Did you hesitate? Did you try to avoid the question? When people are under pressure, they often reveal more than they intend to. Batman uses these moments to catch someone off guard and see how they truly feel. If someone's story changes under pressure or they start fidgeting or stammering, it's a good sign that they might not be as truthful as they seem. The way someone handles stress can tell you a lot about their true nature. And then there's the art of silence. One of Batman's secret weapons is knowing when to stay quiet. When you stay silent during a conversation, people often feel the need to fill that silence. They start talking more than they should, saying things they didn't plan to. This gives you a chance to observe how they try to explain themselves. Imagine you ask someone a simple question and instead of answering right away, you wait. You don't say anything and you just let them fill the silence. Often, they'll start giving you more details than you need or even contradict themselves. Batman knows that silence can force people to reveal more than they intend, and you can use this tactic to your advantage too. The next tactic is observing changes in their routine. People who are hiding something often act differently than usual. They might avoid places they normally go, or they might start acting in a way that's out of character. Batman is always aware of these changes. If someone suddenly becomes secretive or starts doing things they've never done before, it's a sign that something's up. Let's say your friend, who is usually open and talkative, suddenly starts avoiding your calls or acting distant. That's not just a coincidence. Batman would notice this immediately. He knows that changes in behavior often mean someone is hiding something, whether it's guilt, fear, or something else entirely. By keeping an eye on changes in someone's usual routine, you can pick up on signs that they're not being completely honest with you. So far, we've covered a lot of ground in how Batman uses his keen observations to spot deception. But there are still a few more tricks he has up his sleeve, tricks you can use in your own life to uncover the truth. One of these is watching for inconsistencies in their story. People who are lying or hiding something tend to tell different versions of the same story. Maybe they'll add a new detail each time, or their timeline might change. They don't remember what they said earlier, and the more they talk, the more they mess up. It's like when someone tells you, "I went to the store at 3 p.m., but then later they say, "I went at 2:30 p.m. That's a sign that they're not telling you the full truth. Batman is great at catching these little slip-ups. He listens carefully to what people say, and if something doesn't match up or if they contradict themselves, he knows something's wrong. But Batman doesn't just listen to the words people say, he also pays attention to their tone of voice. Have you ever noticed how someone's tone can make all the difference in how you understand what they're saying? Sometimes, when people are hiding something, their voice might change. Maybe they sound a little too calm, or they might talk faster than usual. It's a natural reaction to stress. When someone is lying, their voice can give them away even if their words seem fine. For example, when someone says, "I didn't take it," but their voice is shaky or their tone seems defensive, you might start to doubt their honesty. Batman can pick up on these small changes and use them to figure out what someone is really trying to hide. He knows that paying attention to the way someone says something is just as important as what they actually say. Next, Batman uses the power of the environment to his advantage. This means he takes into account the setting in which the conversation happens. Is someone trying to manipulate you in a place where they have the upper hand, like their office or somewhere they feel in control? Or are they trying to seem friendly and approachable when they're not? The environment can reveal a lot about someone's true intentions. People often act differently depending on where they are, and Batman knows that the location can give him important clues about what's really going on. Imagine someone inviting you over to their house, trying to seem open and friendly, but you can feel a certain tension in the air. Maybe their posture is rigid or they keep looking at the clock. Batman would recognize that the environment is telling him something is off. He'd know that even if the person's words seem warm and welcoming, their body language and the setting might be sending a different message. Now, this next tactic is one that can be a little tricky, but it's powerful once you get the hang of it, testing their reactions with small challenges. Batman knows that when you challenge someone, just a little, nothing major, it can reveal a lot about their true feelings and intentions. If you ask a simple question like, "Are you sure about that?" or "Do you really think that's a good idea?" you're testing how they react under pressure. If someone becomes defensive or starts to get upset over a minor comment, it's a good sign they might be hiding something. A person who's confident and honest won't feel threatened by a small challenge. But someone who's trying to cover something up will get defensive or avoid the question. Batman uses these little tests to see how someone responds, and it helps him understand whether they're being truthful with him or not. Another great tactic is looking at their long-term actions. Batman doesn't just observe someone in the moment, he also pays attention to what they've been doing over time. People can be good at hiding their true intentions for short periods, but eventually, their actions will reveal their true nature. If someone says they're committed to a cause but never actually follows through, Batman knows they're not being honest. Think about someone who constantly talks about working on a big project but never actually makes progress. Maybe they always have an excuse for why they couldn't do it. Over time, their actions start to show who they really are, and that's something Batman knows to look for. By paying attention to the long-term behavior of the people around you, you can spot patterns that might reveal the truth about their intentions. Finally, one of Batman's most effective tactics is reading the eyes. Eyes are often called the windows to the soul, and for good reason. When someone is being dishonest or hiding something, their eyes can give them away. They might avoid eye contact, or their pupils might dilate when they're feeling nervous or stressed. Sometimes when people lie, their eyes will shift around as if they're looking for a way out of the conversation. Batman has trained himself to read people's eyes, and you can do the same. Pay attention to how people look at you when they talk. Are they making direct eye contact, or are they avoiding it? Do their eyes dart around when you ask them a tough question? These little details can give you important clues about whether someone is being honest with you or not. Now let's wrap things up by talking about one last powerful observation tactic Batman uses: being aware of the silences. This one might sound a bit strange at first, but stick with me. You see, silence can speak volumes. Sometimes people aren't saying anything at all because they don't know what to say, or because they're holding back something they don't want to reveal. Batman knows how to use silence to his advantage. Think about it. When you ask someone a question and they pause before they answer, or when they seem hesitant to speak up, it can tell you a lot about what's going on in their mind. Are they avoiding the truth? Are they trying to think of a way to cover up their lie? Silence often signals discomfort, and Batman knows how to read that. So, the next time someone takes a long pause before answering a question, pay close attention. Their silence might be the clue you need to understand their true intentions. By now, you're probably starting to see how Batman's methods work. He doesn't rely on flashy gadgets or dramatic confrontations. Instead, he's using simple, everyday observations to figure out what's really going on beneath the surface. It's all about noticing the little things, the subtle changes in behavior, the small inconsistencies, the way people act when they think no one is watching. These are the things that can help you uncover someone's true intentions and separate the truth from the lies. And here's the thing: these tactics aren't just for detectives or superheroes. You can use them in your own life to better understand the people around you. Whether you're trying to figure out if someone's being honest with you, or just getting a better read on the situation, the power of silent observation can give you a huge advantage. You don't need to be a master of body language or have an advanced psychology degree. All it takes is a little practice and a willingness to pay attention to the details. So, start practicing these techniques the next time you're talking to someone or trying to figure out what's going on around you. Notice the way people act, listen closely to their words, and observe their behavior over time. You'll start to see things you missed before, and those observations will help you make better decisions and avoid being manipulated by people with hidden agendas. In the end, Batman's code of silent observation is all about trust. It's about trusting yourself to read between the lines and trust your instincts when something feels off. You don't need to be a vigilante or live in Gotham to use these tactics. All you need is a sharp mind, a keen eye, and the willingness to stay aware of the world around you. By using the Batman Code, you'll be able to expose the true intentions of anyone you come across, and maybe even get one step ahead of them. The next time you feel unsure about someone, remember these tactics. Use your eyes, your ears, and your instincts to see through the facade. With a little practice, you'll be able to figure out what people are really up to, and maybe even save yourself from falling for their tricks.